What is up, guys? It's your main man, the creative skater. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to like, subscribe, and smash that bell button. The bell button. And yeah, guys, today my camera's lagging a little bit, but today we're gonna be reacting to Dr. Umar Johnson. If you guys do not know who Dr. Umar Johnson is, he's a activist. He's pretty big in the African American community, and yeah, he's an activist. Don't worry, guys. He's not like a psycho or anything. He's like a professional. Well, he's a doctor. I mean, come on. And this interview is done by the Breakfast Club. The link to the original interview will be in the description. But I'm reacting to Dr. Umar's interview, and as you guys know, I'm a rapper, so I don't know if the title of this video might be Rap Reacts, but yeah, guys. So we're reacting to Dr. Umar. He's like an activist. He's not like one of those. He hasn't been around that long. He's not like Al Sharpton type. He's like coming up like. Well, I mean, he's pretty big. He's a pretty big activist. He's really big in the African American community, really big in the activism community. So, yeah. I'm not even about to say anything else. I'm about to get in straight into this. Dr. Umar Johnson.
Like, I think they know that they have to work for the black vote this year. Like, this is the first time I've seen candidates actually have a black agenda.
There's a reason for that. And I think it's because you still want to squeeze as much.
Okay, guys, I just moved me off to the side a little bit so we can watch the full video.
Much of the black vote as you can, but I believe that our relevance in the political landscape is beginning to decline because you have the rise of the Latino population and their vote. And unlike the African American community, the Latino American community isn't married permanently one way or the other. So they're going to hear the Republicans out. They're going to hear the Democrats out, and they're going to make a decision that's best for their community. Whereas black folks, we don't need to hear anyone out. We're voting for the Democratic Party irregardless. Let's look at this. There's 5 major problems that affect black America. 5. What up?
Were you talking to me, Los, or my mom?
Yes, your mother's calling you.
Oh, okay.
Your mother was calling you.
Oh, she was? Did she still call me?
How many times you gotta call you?
Okay, guys, my mom had to call me. Right. Well, no, dinner's gonna come, so I have to bring the bread down to my mom.
What are they? Mass incarceration, miseducation, gentrification, access to wealth, and police genocide.
Okay. One thing you did bring up, I thought was a valid point. Gentrification. Now, you know what? No, I'll say it. Cambridge. I live in Cambridge, and that's where all the big colleges are and stuff. And it's safe to say that there's been a lot of gentrification going on, and I mean racially and financially, because you got rich people coming to take the neighborhood from poor people. And I mean, so Cambridge, it used to be like a very middle class, blue collar type neighborhood, and now it's a upper middle class. So it used to be poor. It used to be like lower middle class neighborhood and like middle class, and now it's like a very upper middle class. Like most of the people here are upper middle class, like lawyers, doctors. So it went from being teachers, waiters, factory workers, to now it's lawyers, doctors, psychologists, that kind of stuff. And there's a lawyer, doctor, lives from right over there, psychologist there. And anyway, I'm just saying that Cambridge is a very gentrified neighborhood, and Dr. Umar Johnson brought up a very valid point.
They're all equally relevant. Mass incarceration, miseducation, gentrification, police genocide, and access to wealth. My question for Senator Booker, as it would have been for Senator Harris, but of course she dropped out now, okay? What plan do you have? Not promise. Black America has to get out of this thing. We want promises. I don't want no damn promises. I want to see a plan of action. What plan do you have to deal with miseducation? What plan do you have to deal with mass incarceration? What plan do you have to deal with the ethnic cleansing of black people out of our own residential neighborhoods? What plan do you have to deal with...
Okay, guys, and by ethnic cleansing, I'm sorry for cutting off, but by ethnic cleansing means like gentrification. And I think police brutality too, but you just gotta read into it a little bit. You gotta understand. You gotta know what's up.
police assassinations of defenseless unarmed black folks? And what plan do you have to help us access the wealth of America's banks? If he ain't got a plan for any one of those five, I can't vote for you. And guess what? 99% of black politicians don't have a plan for any of those five, because those five things, Charlemagne and Envy, are the backbone of white supremacy. It's the backbone of political and economic disenfranchisement of black folks. If you deal with any one of those five, you are weakening the fiber of white supremacy's or white racism's control of domination over black existence.
I was going to ask you.
Okay, so what he's trying to say is that there are five main problems that are keeping black people down, and that the way America is built is to keep those problems in place. So it's to keep all the problems that are holding black African Americans back. They're saying the society is constructed right now to keep those problems in. So society is constructed right now to allow these five problems to keep continuing. And if anyone stops those problems, they will be going against the order of society. And they'll pretty much, there are five problems, and those are the backbones of white supremacy, which is what he was trying to say, which means like the oppression of black people. So what he's saying is that five things are oppressing black people. And that's a part of the social order of our country. A lot of good portion of those five. And so by anyone solving one of those five things, you are decreasing oppression, and which would give African Americans more upward mobility in society. And Dr. Umar is pretty much stating that he feels that neither party has interest to influence upward mobility of African Americans in society by solving one or all of those problems. See? Now, Charlemagne's question.
Who's one of your top choices out of the presidential candidate?
Nobody. Bernie Sanders doesn't have a solution for black people. Unless someone arises talking something that I think is relevant for us.
What did you think of Kamala Harris?
I don't vote for black people who are not married to black people. I think we know that.
Right.
Okay. Let's take a minute. JK.
Okay. So she wasn't going to get my vote anyway.
What if she had all the plans for black people that we talk about, but was still married to a white person?
She could not have, because you can't mix oil and water. So if a black,
actually you can. That's actually bro. This guy said you can't mix oil and water. Actually, Dr. Umar, you can mix oil and water. It won't work out well, but you can mix oil and water. Like, oh, actually, no, you can make gasoline. Is gasoline oil? Oh, you about to Google that, my guy. All right, Google. Is gasoline oil? I'm trying to see. Because you can mix oil and gasoline. I'm getting so little right now. Gasoline is made from crude oil. And you can mix water and gasoline, bro. Water and gasoline. You mix water and gasoline in a car. You can... Yeah, see, so you get poor acceleration. It's like if you guys are ever being kidnapped or something, you pour water in someone's gas tank, it mixes with the gasoline and it shuts down the car for poor acceleration. You know how I knew that? From watching Ghostbusters. Nah, JK. Yeah, but so actually water and oil based car powering liquid gases mixed. So nah.
Black woman is committing her life to a white male, understanding what the white male population has done to black people in this country, that right there tells me how serious you are about us. For example, the other day, y'all had a terrific interview with our brother Byron Allen.
Yes, sir.
But I'm upset with both of you because you did not act.
Okay, guys, I do not know who that is. We about to Google this guy. Byron Allen? I don't even know who this dude. I don't even, guys, I never know anything. When it comes to activism, I never know anything. Okay, so Byron Allen, he's this 58-year-old. Wait, I'm about to move. A 58-year-old businessman, and let's see this guy's net worth. If his net worth is over $1 billion, that's how you know he matters. 400 million. Okay, he's a professional comedian. He made 400. Bro, this guy made $400 million from being a professional. Wait, now we gotta Google some other comedians' net worth. I'm going on a freaking rabbit hole. Eddie Murphy net worth. What's Eddie Murphy's net worth? Oh, bro. I'm just saying. Yeah, but it's Eddie Murphy. No one knows who this dude. Nah, I'm kidding. But this is the guy, Byron. Oh, he's a philanthropist. Oh, enchanté. Oh, oui. Like, okay. But he's like a billionaire philanthropist. Yeah. And his wife's white, apparently. So let's just get back to Dr. Umar. Okay, we're back to Dr. Umar.
Asked the question that needed to be asked.
Which
Byron Allen spoke eloquently about the black economic situation and our need to keep our wealth in our community and our need to concentrate that wealth for our own benefit. So if you know that much about black economic power, how could you make the mistake of not investing your wealth into a black woman? 1 + 1 = 2. You can't come up here.
Okay, guys, I have to move this over, but we can talk about what you just said. I have to move it over at the good part. So, what he's saying, I don't really think you guys need me to explain everything that he said. What he's saying is, why isn't he giving his money to a black woman instead of a white woman? And he feels that his wife is an investment, I guess? I don't know how that will work, but I don't know how that pay off. I mean, investments are things that gotta pay off. I mean, but then again, can you really trust a comedian to be a good businessman? Like Dr. Umar said, this professional comedian isn't a good businessman. Like, obviously, he's a professional comedian. That's all I'm saying. Dr. Umar's standards of a good businessman and a good investment, and then you're preferring them with a professional comedian. Like, I don't know what you're gonna say, but I mean, if you're asking someone that doesn't do business to do business to your standards, and if they're very high, that person isn't gonna do too very well. And so I know a lot of you guys lost, and I'm not lost, but I know it's easy to get lost, so just try to follow along.
Talking about black economic power and our need to protect the 1866 civil rights law when you yourself didn't think enough of us to contribute your money and your capital and your wealth and your estate by marrying a black woman.
Okay, guys, I cannot keep blasting this, guys. I'm sorry. I mean, he's a cool dude. Let me go close some windows. Close some windows, my guys. Close the windows. Okay. Back to it.
You cannot live white.
Yeah. So what do you think
black.
that was? What do you think that is? That the fact that he's quote unquote trying to help our community, but you see him married to a white woman.
It would be my
You
quote.
can't live white and talk black. I mean, I'm pretty sure Bad Baby, Whoa Vicky, Eminem, Vanilla Ice live white, talk black.
Question for Byron Allen. Go ahead. This whole message of black people needing to protect the 1866 Civil Rights Bill, is that for us?
I am.
Or is it for you? In other words, is this another Barack Obama tactic where you get black people all in their emotions and they follow you out and do whatever you want, and then at the end of the day you benefit and we don't? Because that's what Obama did. We got nothing out of that at all. Latinos benefited, homosexuals benefited, women benefited, immigrants benefited. Black folks who built this country did not benefit from Obama at all. Not a single law, just for us. You understand? So if I were talking to Byron Allen, this is what I would say. I respect him, first of all. You understand? He's still my brother, even though there's political disagreements.
Correct.
But I would say, listen, your wife is white. So we're going to stop the black talk right there. Here's what I want to know.
Dang, why keep thinking white?
How many people on your board of directors for your corporation are African people, black folks? I also want to know how many of your employees are black. I also want to know to how many black companies do you subcontract